our way. Visit gogoloop.com today and always keep it cranking.
Are you short on money? Is your computer acting up? Call my main man, Tony Ray, for $50 PC repairs.
This is
Crank Therapy.
Go Radio Live.
Oh yeah, your boy DJ Chuck Classic, Go Radio Live. Letting you know you can catch me in the mix every Saturday, 2 to 4 p.m. It's Crank Therapy. Oh yeah. And I hit you like this.
Crank Therapy. Crank Therapy. Crank Therapy.
2 to 4 p.m. Crank Therapy, Saturdays.
With GoWIN Radio Show on GoGo Radio Live and Win DC Radio, powered by GoWin.media.
dance. I see you pumping band. Team, hold us on. Is that what? River turns back. The river turns back. River turns back. The whistle, what you know? Is that what? The Afro Plus, 7-pound bunnies. And dirty back. The Pentacles. The Southwest. Southwest, baby. We say Pepe. We're in the house. With some dog. Black. On the good. We gon' do. What you gon' do, Black? What you gon' do? Is that what? Go get Sam and say, hey, T, burger good. The 104. They want that no show. What you gon' do, Bo? Is that what? The Fairfax group. The Trinity Mob. My nigga Larry got a birthday. They hell on the good. I can think them whole my honeys doing some kind of way out. The whole my honeys, they looking out of sight. They giving them niggas what they like. The whole my honeys. Is that what? They giving the niggas what they like. The whole body honeys. They giving you what you like. The whole body honeys. They ain't a damn thing funny. And nothing going on but the money. It's all on the gun. And dirty back. They got no slack, dog. The niggas from the Pinnacle. Already let them know. They say what? You got a sauce and black on the girl. If it's new, little something like girl. Now come on. You got a sauce on the girl.
Come on! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Come on! You better do that, baby. Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Come on!
heard all you niggas hit this now. Yeah. I heard all you niggas hit this now. I heard all you niggas hit this now. Hey, Sweets. What you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? Let you. Hey, what you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? Let you. Hey, what you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? And wild boys, birthday. Ladies, vamos. Ladies, everybody hump. Ladies, your humps, Southside humps. Ladies, yeah, hey Sean, sing it to 'em. 1,000, Bravo. Ladies, I feel my hustle. Ladies, this is a DJ John exclusive. Hey John, I heard everybody hit this now. Ladies, your humps. Ladies, my humps. Your humps. Ladies, and Sean, sing it to 'em. Burn bombs. One way. Yeah. Hey Bill, my horse. Ladies, everybody hump. Ladies, yeah, hey Sweets, it's all about food. What you gonna do? We gon' let you. Shut it down. Shut it down, honeys. Couple girls, Nene, birthday, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, your humps. Ladies, your humps. I heard all you niggas hit this now. Hey, Sweets. What you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? Let you. Hey, what you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? Let you. Hey, what you gonna do? We gon' let you. What? Or let you. What? And wild boys, birthday. Ladies, my humps. Ladies, everybody hump. Ladies, your humps. Southside humps. Ladies, yeah, hey Sean, sing it to 'em. 1,000, Bravo. Yeah. Ladies, I feel my hustle. Should everybody hear this now? Ladies, your hearts. Ladies, my hearts. Your hearts. Ladies, and Sean, sing a song. Burn bombs. No way. Yeah. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill, my hearts. Ladies, everybody hot. Ladies, yeah, hey, sweets, this all about food. What you gonna do? All that jump, shut down, shut down, honeys. Couple girls, Nene, birthday, baby. Yeah. Ladies, your hearts. Ladies, your hearts. Tucker City. Hey, wait.
Yeah. Speaking of my humps, you're tuned into the GoWIN radio show right here on GoGo Radio Live, Win DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWIN.media, coming to you live from the shops at Iverson. And it is a wonderful day because you know why? Miss Lady's in the house tonight, y'all.
Don't quit your day job. Do not quit your day
You know I'll
job.
be singing, girl.
Well, you know what? You know
stop
what? That's
faking.
better than the car salesman. I like that one.
Oh,
I like
yeah?
that intro better than the Miss Lady. I like that one. You can keep that one.
Oh,
You
keep
keep-
that one.
keep
Nah,
that one
that
around.
ain't Miss Lady.
No,
it's not
keep-
going nowhere.
No, please, no.
That's that is going nowhere. What's up, Miss Lady? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm blessed. I woke up this morning. I don't have nothing to complain about.
There you go. There you
I don't
go.
have nothing to complain about.
No ifs, ands, or buts about that. You know, how was your weekend though? What you get into this weekend?
What did I do? Work, pause. I went to sleep on you. Yeah. I mean, listen. I said pause before I even said it.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I went to
Okay.
I went, before I even said it. So don't even look at me crazy because I already know.
I'm about to see my phone about to light up.
Wifey was not like
Yeah,
that.
I thought you was yeah.
So for the at the Pearl, the Chuck Brown,
Right.
You know, we went to the
Right.
Chuck Brown band, and what was the open? 3 Men and a Baby.
I don't know who the 3 minutes.
It was something. Don't do that. Don't laugh out like that because I forgot. what
That's
their name
funny
was.
though.
It was something like that. 3
Hey.
Men in a Machine or something like that.
That sounds more like
Yeah,
it.
it
The
was
3 men and the
some-
baby.
Yeah. It was something like that for the opening band, but I instructed you to wake me up, and you did not.
How does that sound?
I'm saying, I told you I needed a nap.
I don't even remember what I did after that.
I told
when
you I
you called
needed a
me.
nap.
I was like on the move.
I told you was at the Malcolm X Day.
Yes,
You was
and
at Malcolm X Day.
yeah, but I was on the move from there because I went from first and foremost Malcolm X Day. I was glad that they was bringing it back. It felt good to have it back, and they're doing a full week of it. I hope they continue it. I'm upset that we as a black community do not fund this ourselves and have it moving the way it should be moving. We're looking for the government to pick up something that they could give a damn about us. Malcolm was a martyr to us. They want to keep dirt on our martyrs. So why would they want to help you out with just a day for someone who sparked a light and put fire in so many people in order for us to wake up as a race and understand that, you know, we need to be more proactive than reactive.
I mean, I don't think that we should expect them to do that, but a closed mouth don't get fed. So my thing is, if they have, you know, monies set aside or budget set aside for things of that nature, then go with it. I mean, don't be too proud and too honorary to be like, you know, we don't need them. Man, listen.
How many years did you was here last week? Mm-hmm. How many years has it been since we've had Malcolm X Day?
24. It was
24.
Yeah, 24 years.
So don't you think that closed mouth is definitely not going to get fed? Whether it's open or not, in 24 years they ain't thinking about us.
Well, they said they came to the table, and you know the park have different ideas now. You know,
right.
They moving along with time, and the park you know was asking for some monetary residuals.
Right.
For use of a public space.
Which all of a sudden they're asking for.
Yeah, for use of a public space.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, you can't expect them to do that, but if there is money out there, then I say go for it.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, we looking at year 25. Yeah. And if no monies came in a quarter of a century, I don't expect it to. And I'm tired of black folks bumping our heads up against that proverbial wall and not saying, but you know what? If we want it, instead of us spending the extra $100 here on something that we don't necessarily need, a luxury item, like instead of a $200 pair of shoes, we can find a $100 pair of shoes, and just reinvest in ourselves and stop complaining about what we don't have. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, if I work every day and I want a $200 pair of shoes, I'm gonna buy a $200 pair of shoes. Okay, but we can't complain about what we don't have. I mean, we can't. It's the nature of the beast. Yeah. Okay. See. Easier said than done. Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna put on one song. We're gonna set up our guests right here. You gonna put on Public Enemy? You feeling? Hey, I'm gonna tell you. The rhythm, the rebel. Without a pause, I'm lowering my level. They wanted me for me army or whatever. Picture me giving a damn. I said never. I feel it. I don't know why. I'm like, you gonna put up Public Enemy? Yeah, that's me all day. Chuck D, that's my dog. Don't get me fired up like that. So when we come back, we're going to bring up a Tricky Entertainment in the house, and we're so glad to have him up in here. And matter of fact, I don't even know if we're going to go to break. We're going to rap for a minute. We're going to rap like Curtis Blow up in here. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, so you tuned into the GoWIN radio show right here on GoGo Radio Live, WIN DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWIN.media. Coming to you live from the shops of Iverson with Miss Lady. You know what? Let's set them up and let's check them out.
shake it, shake it, baby, shake it, baby. Oh, shake it out. Y'all ready? Let's do it, girl. Shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it. Oh, shake it out. Y'all ready? Let's do it, girl. Shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it. Oh, shake it out. I love Jamaican girls, Jamaican girls.
Jamaican girls, high class girls. Sure you wanna be my girl. They're never tight, it's alright. Sure you wanna be my girl. Jamaican girls, high class girls. Sure you wanna be my girl. They're never tight, it's alright.
Shake it out.
Yeah. Hey, 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 hey.
Shake it out, shake it out. Little girl named Kim, Kim.
Little girl named Kizzy. Little girl named Sonia. Gonna shake it.
Periodically or something.
Welcome back to the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio Live, Win DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWin.media. I am sitting here with Tricky Entertainment in the house, and it's a, you brought the team, well, part of the team.
It's a Tricky Ink.
Tricky Incorporated.
Right.
Inc.
Right.
Yeah, we got that. Well,
No, but you don't be saying
I mean, the brand name. I want to make sure I sell the logo.
Okay.
Gotta tell
Yeah.
you.
You know,
have to do that.
you know all about that logo. I ain't got to
Yeah.
tell you. Yeah, so that's where the money at. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, first and foremost, I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves. But when we come back around, what you name all the other people that are not here that's on the team as many as possible. I know it's a laundry list. I know it's a laundry list, but as they say, you can't get them all. But just go ahead. As far as the people that's actually part of Tricky Inc. Go ahead.
Well, I'm good morning. I'm Bink from Tricky Entertainment.
I'm Mark Pendergrass, Tricky Entertainment.
And I'm Erwin Pendergrass, Tricky Entertainment.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Black Pendergrass, Tricky Entertainment.
Okay, and then who are the others who are on the team?
I got my man Sugar Ray, I got Corvette, got Big Kurt, Hell of a Hawk, E. Diddy, Tim Fibbles, Gary, Rook,
Los.
and I mean, we deep, man. Tricky and family, man. We know for a fact that we can't do this alone, so we create a family environment, and that's the way we operate. And I ain't even named the sisters yet: Tracy, Muff, Light Bright, the whole crew. Yeah,
It's a laundry list.
Yeah, we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's okay. Let's back it up a little bit. There we go. That's sure, Mike. Okay, cool. I think we good right there. You are at this time and place in the Washington D.C. paradigm of things are considered by all the and I walks amongst them all to be the premier promoter in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area, and we're not just talking about black folk events or go-go events. One of the true premier promoters of extravagant luxury events that does events that where any and everybody can come and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty much the basis in which we operate. We just trying to give the best people, the best places, and the best entertainment for our fellow Washingtonians, people from the DMV. But I'd be remiss to say it's not a lot of other promoters out here that's getting it done.
No. This is something that's amongst themselves that they say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even. It's not me. I'm not drumming that up.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I mean it's
got my
easy.
list
It's
of
easy
favorite
too.
Promoters too.
Right.
That I really looked up. And conversate with on the regular. Big up to my man Dwayne Nutt. He
Right.
Absolutely. He definitely extended family to us. my man Steve Mathis, and the list really can go on. So I don't want to start.
Yeah, you put a couple out there, but what about me? That's why. That's why I really didn't want you to go all there.
It's cool though. Yeah. It's cool, but some of them I talk to more than others, right?
Right.
And the thing I try to say about promotion, it's still a fraternity. So from Tricky Entertainment, we just try to make sure that we respect all the other promoters.
Absolutely.
And we hope that in return they can reciprocate the same generosity to other promoters. It don't always work that way, but we still got to do our part anyway.
Well, and maybe that is been a big issue a lot of times because I've heard the good and the bad side as far as dealing with you. Mm-hmm. Because if you put on a certain event, I remember when I was working with Subtle, it was a sin to put an event against you.
Right.
Like if you're doing that, you're committing suicide. And so, with success brings enemies. I'm sure you understand that. So
so they say.
Yeah, I mean it's real, right?
real talk.
So I want to do this, but what do you mean I can't do this? Well, I mean you can. You can. So that had to bring a different level to your to you presenting the event. So, but let's back it up just a little bit. You kind of took over for the Positive Black Men Coalition type of events that everybody looked at and said, well, when they do something, we all have to be there. Mm-hmm. And you were still doing your thing at the same time as well. Listen, so I appreciate it. I hope it's the station pumping.
What it is that was it saved it and then replayed the beginning of the show.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's
all
about.
right. Yeah, that boy technology too much sometimes, boy. But with the whole Positive Black Men Coalition being the premier party at for quite a few years. They probably had about a good strong 6-year run, 7 years.
Nah,
longer
over
than
a decade.
Huh?
Over a decade.
I'm talking about strong, as far as like
10 strong.
Okay.
And before it even started,
bubbling.
Definitely over a decade.
Before it was bubbling.
Yeah,
Okay.
They had about 10 strong. Don't forget the Great Curvebone. That was
no doubt.
Okay, that was a decade run too.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about most recently.
Okay.
Most recently.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we can back up, but no, and we can't forget Curvebone. We can't, we're going to go back to the neighborhood, we go back to the neighborhood. So, but Positive Black Man situation, what was it like it for you to be that platform now for events?
Well, with Positive Black Man, big up to my man Stan. Definitely was an amazing event. But the thing about it is, it was DC style because we was fly, right? Everybody got away from being, decked to kill, being fried, putting on clothes and stuff like that. But at that time, that was the big deal. Had to go get your stuff right. We go down Tyson's Corner, it's flooded, Same thing with a Curvebone party, everything good, it's flooded. So that era of DC stayed in me the whole time, because I just think that we got a unique style that no other city can duplicate, So that's part of what we did with Tricky coming out the gate. Now later in the conversation, I'm gonna tell you how this kid over here to the right is changing and reframing the way that we
put
do
that
things.
infusion of the youth up in there. And of course, and that's how any well-ran organization should have it. Right. You have to have that youth coming through the pipeline, which we're going to talk about because I'm going to touch on our conversation that we had the other evening.
Right.
And within not just Tricky Entertainment, not just go-go music or I mean, all successful genres, whether it be music, corporations, or whatever the case may be, they make sure that the youth is coming up and being not only the infusion, but they're being taught right. Because you just can't. You can always have the youth coming up trying to run things,
Absolutely.
but they're being groomed properly.
And indoctrined too.
That is
You know what I'm
valid.
saying?
Absolutely.
And them family cookouts come in handy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got it. You know, you got your hand on them. So look, shorty, you know, before I hand you the steering wheel.
This how you do things.
You know, this 12 C's up underneath these, you know,
Right.
but before you get underneath here,
Right.
you gotta know what you're working with.
Right.
Now I could put you over there and on you know, on the stick shift, you know, the little manual, Honda, something like that. But if we grooming you to drive this Ferrari,
Right.
you know, so that's always great to have. But why isn't it that we've gotten away from that? Because, like you said, you've carried a family type organization with you. Why is it as a whole we don't see that as much?
For the love of money.
Hey, hey.
Hey, you know, everything in the world is so financially driven. You know, they base your success on how much money you made or didn't make. You know, what we try to keep practicing is just do everything the right way, and if finances come, they should come if you do it right. You know, try not to cross nobody. You know, let them know what it's going to be. Our patrons, we're going to tell them exactly what they in for. I think you should Uber. Parking won't be terrible. I think you should park here because I got this many spaces. This who's coming on first. This who's coming on last. You know, just being
Transparent
with the people. You know what I'm saying? Because when they decide not to buy a ticket, we cook food. It's over. I don't care what we do. So we got loyalty to them, and they've been having loyalty back to us. So that's how it's been working.
Well, and I think watching your moves that you've made over, because you've been in the game for what, almost 20 years now.
How far you want to go back to the cabarets?
Well, I mean, why not? Because that's how you build your base, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's in like 91, 92. We having a cabarets. I mean, I'm sneaking my son in the building, you know, to help me set up the camera stuff. And, you know, and from that point on, you know, I got with Kurt Bone, who is my childhood friend. And he definitely took things to another level. And we learned so much together, you know, and I just wanted to do something different.
Can we touch on the neighborhood for a minute?
Yeah, my hood.
Well,
Northeast Finest.
There it is.
He's Southeast kids, so they ain't gonna be relating to me.
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, you the one talking right now. We can swing the mic around. They can talk on their end, but let's talk about what we affectionately called back in the day Vietnam.
Right.
That 21st Maryland, 21st H, that whole play right there, right behind Spin. Did you go to Brown?
Brown,
Yeah,
Charles Young, Spin on,
okay.
everything on the hill.
So so that had to instill, because I remember coming up, and that was my cousin's side over there, and that's because my mother, she working, and you know the situation, you know how families are. Sometimes you just be dropped off, and you kind of like. That is my family because you over there so much. Right. So, but that neighborhood had a family vibe to it.
Yeah. So I grew up in a different era, you know, right?
Right.
When your friend's mother can actually whip your ass, and it's okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was trying to get into with Miss Lady a little bit.
So now all that's gone. You know, even with the school, my mother told me if I come to that school, that's your ass.
Yeah.
Now parents come to school, they already mad at the teacher before they even heard the whole story. You know, so the whole era was different.
I just told Miss Lady about the time was it did I tell you, Miss Lady? What? Like my mother actually came to the school and whooped me in front of the class. That's real.
I got a few of them.
This is third grade. I'll never forget this. Like I remember it like it was yesterday. That when you remember stuff like that, that become part of your DNA, Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, my mother was like, she ain't played.
So now he can raise his daughter and say, "Don't make me have to come back school
Yeah.
because that's your ass."
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, but it was the best time though. You know,
Yeah.
sports was big, and music was big. You know, we had our go-go tapes on the porch. You know, our cassette tapes right there on our.
You probably
boulevard.
got some from me. You just didn't
If
know.
it was
it.
PA, right?
Yeah.
They say if it ain't from you, it ain't clear.
I was that was Quan.
Oh, that was Quan. Okay, yeah.
I used to sell in that neighborhood. I used to get in trouble so much, just the police pulling me over thinking I was selling drugs.
Right.
You know, and all I had was tapes on me at the time.
Oh Lord.
And I used to go through it so much. I had to leave.
Right.
It was too much.
Right. That's what's up.
Yeah, but that whole situation. I mean, because people don't realize, like you said, you can't. Did you come out the same year they won the championship?
85.
Yeah.
Spring on Greenways 31-0.
That's it.
Number one in the nation, huh?
And
Lord, don't get
a
him
lot of people don't
started.
know.
Please don't get them started.
Hey, but they had the number one track team in the city too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was his mother on the number one track team.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. And Spingon was known more for their track team than anything
I
else.
keep telling people that,
Yeah.
but you know, and putting the big hands up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't come through there if you couldn't get it in.
Yeah.
That fourth floor was a hill. It was hell.
So,
Yep.
but so the whole family vibe from the neighborhood, you incorporated with your business as well. What do you see right now that's truly missing in order for us to grow in a positive way and cut back all the infighting that's within the I don't know, our DC local community?
Man, I mean, you know, I always quote great Chuck Brown, you know. And one thing he said, you'd be surprised at the good you can do when you got peace and love inside of you, right?
Right.
That's Chuck. So he right, am I right? And a lot of dudes that I'm seeing don't have the peace from within, you know. Because I hug my haters, and I probably buy them a drink. I ain't even really tripping like that, you know. Because for them to hate on something that's trying to be beneficial, that's a deficiency from them to deal with, not for me to deal with.
Right.
You know, and I'm looking at now, even with my go-go community. I look at LA. LA is like probably 10 or 12 times bigger than DC. Houston, probably 8. New York, probably 7 or 8. But our city is small, but it's rich in character and style, right? So that's what always made us so unique. But if you got a small box and bad energy in the box, nobody gonna prosper, you know? So, man, you know, they got to put love back in the equation and respect back in the equation, you know? Just even if you don't love, you can still respect.
And I brought that up last week, Black. I said, you don't necessarily have to love your brother.
Right.
But if you can at least respect him,
Yeah.
we can get past a lot of this other stuff.
Figure out
We
how
got
to
to
love
put
him.
we got to put that respect on the table first and foremost. Then everything else can come from that, because if you don't just respect somebody, you know, that's automatic negativity coming out the gate.
Man, you got go-go artists, right? That I think are some of the most talented musicians in the world.
Right.
Now we have music that is really becoming a lost form throughout the nation, because I'm dealing with these national artists. I'm paying for full bands, right? They coming with a console, a drum, and a keyboard. They're losing the art of good music. So now, how can one artist, you know, just say any artist, not respect what that other artist done did over all of this time, you know? So he great. You know, Scooby, you great. Donnell Floyd, you great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got, the list could go so deep of these drummers and these guys, you know. Big G, you great, man. For that long of a time, to maintain, to reinvent, to create, come on, man. You gotta recognize greatness, and then you have to respect it, you know. And our kids look different, so I'm feeding my children the best way I know how. You feeding yours the best way you know how. and it don't always come together. But I still got to respect what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? You got to respect
First and
it, man.
foremost, it has to be that.
Yeah.
What is the necessary thing for us to do, for us to follow up on what we spoke on earlier, and that is to build a pipeline, whether it be, namely go-go, because like you just said, it's becoming a lost art. What, from your end, if Tricky Inc. had anything to do with it, what would they do to put that infusion of life and say, well, look, go-go, for the next 30 years, we got to start right here.
Right. So I'm gonna let them two speak, and he can go first because he probably got a little more insight. But from Tricky Entertainment, what we've tried to do is we tried to put different go-go artists in front of groups that are not necessarily coming to see them, right?
No doubt.
So if I got 5,500 people here, and they coming to my city from different places, right? I can't wait to put them in front of them Congos, Vibe, RE, anybody, right? BYB, just to say this our culture and this the way our city go. You go in New Orleans, you gonna hear jazz everywhere you go. I go to Madison Square Garden to a basketball game, they don't play nothing but hip hop. You got 90-year-olds dancing to it. You know, when they drop Curtis Blow all the way up to Biggie the Jigger in Madison Square, you gonna feel like you in New York, right? So regardless of how fly our parties may be or how good the show may be, I still want you to feel like you in DC. And that's the way we give back to the go-go world. You know, whether they appreciate it or not, that's up to them.
I was just about to say that. I'm saying, does it seem as though it's reciprocated that the go-go community appreciate that? Do they see it as that, or they see it as another, another ticket? Just like, hey, it's another gig.
Nah, I don't think they see it as another gig.
Okay.
You know, I've been told thank you before, and I think that one thing they do on our stage that I appreciate more, they bring their A game.
Absolutely.
So they don't come there bullshit and they say, okay, we got the big stage. We don't got a lot of people that's going to be here with us. So, in our DC way, we're going to fuck this joint up their way, And I allow all the great dudes to be who they're going to be because they musicians. I'm just a promoter. I can get the people in front of you, but you the one who got to entertain them. Yeah.
So what would you do in order to infuse some the next 30 years for go-go?
Two things. So I got a good friend that's a drummer. I always tell him, I always say, look, man, if you got a craft, I think it's your duty to make sure that you got somebody under your wing that can do what you do. Somebody that you are passing that torch to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about just, this is not rap, actually. This is go-go. This is like jazz. This is like reggae. And the difference between rap and reggae is that that's a genre that they wish to push on. Like, Jamaica wish to push reggae on forever and ever. And so that's how that's done. By you got Marley, then you got all the little Marleys that's in the reggae, right? And so I think that's part one, is that whatever it is that you do, like if you're a keyboard player, you're a saxophonist, you play the guitar, you're not doing your job if you don't got one person under you, just under your wing. One thing I noticed that outside of go-go, but that the young people, even younger than me, I'm 35, so even younger than me, in the city, they starting to move those lines that we had in our era, where, I'm from Northeast, I'm from Southeast, or, we wear this, we wear that. They kind of removing those lines. I think that's another thing in go-go, where those lines that we put up, to say, nah, this band is different from this and all this. Man, we want community. It's one idea for real. And when we start moving the same way at the same pace, then you can still do what it is that you do that's different from that person. But community-wise, go-go-wise, period, if we all moving in the same pace, then we gain more ground. So just to answer that question, I think that, removing those lines and making sure that you passing that torch to whoever's next. Because we don't even have no young go-go band, like no young go-go band that'll put it in the pocket right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean,
other than new impressions.
Other than
Well,
doing presses.
Doing presses.
you
They
know,
bounce-
actually,
bounce beat?
They
Yes.
hit the
do
timbales,
everything.
but
They do
they
everything.
solid. They got
sing,
decent blend.
They can give you that
Yeah.
bar mitzvah. That
Do they got original music? Because that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I grew up
Oh,
on.
yeah.
They got a whole
Original.
bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
original
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing pressing solid.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta check 'em out.
Oh yeah.
So but what's crazy about it, the youngest band in go-go from me being around them is T.O.B. and T.O.B. has been out for a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Who's
yeah,
T.O.B.?
But even T.O.B.
they're a bounce beat
They're a
band.
bounce
They can
beat
actually,
band.
but they can play all genres. Like the best thing about them, like Walt Jam had them learning a lot of old school, soul type of joints.
Right.
Motown. They used to mix in stuff with the bounce beat. Like that's the only band Chuck Brown ever played with that was a bounce beat band.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So they but that's the youngest we got.
Right.
And I always go back to. Everybody always says that go-go is it's becoming
Distinct.
extinct. I was about to say instinct. I'm lunching today. I'm Nico today. And try to keep it young, but the promoters do not put on shows for the youngins.
Right.
So my daughter, she's about to be 16. My first go-go was 13 at the Triples.
Right.
So I'm like, there's nowhere for the youngest to go because they act up.
Right.
And then nobody want to invest in that or get license taken away and
Yeah,
things of that
act up
nature.
not acceptable like it was back in the day, though.
You said the key thing, though. You said where they don't have any place to go, right? Most parents think kind of like how you think. I don't really want my daughter into that. So promoters, as a promoter, you're going to think for the people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the multitude of people is saying that I don't want my youngster to go through probably what I went through. Because you've been out, I grew up in the church era. Right. So we walk from my house down to church, party all night, 5 in the morning, and be home.
Right.
And now it's just totally different.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? But that gotta come from, to me, right? That has to come from the bands, like, cause I grew up on RE. RE used to come out and play up Highland.
Yeah.
E used to come play up Highland for free, so the people who didn't have money could hear them, see them, and then they could interact with those people. So to me, to answer your question, Nico, when the bands can interact better with the community will pour out and interact better with the bands. Meaning that coming out to see them, coming out to invest in them, and then the youngsters to see what's going on to get what Mickey's doing and teaching his kids how to play the congos, what other people teaching their kids to play the saxophone. Right. Because now it's a higher standard. Right. Like back then, we held the bands to a higher standard. They were our athletes before athletes became our athletes. Yes. That's who we looked up to in the city.
Our local celebrities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people that really can't say that. We had a long, industrious run of local celebrities that have came through this city. Right. So if the bands get back to promoting their neighborhoods and promoting the recreational centers and stuff like that, I think more kids are poured back into that. But when they became extinct and not doing that, it gives no kids the reason to go into these recreational centers, because right now the recreational centers aren't made for these kids.
No,
well,
they aren't.
One thing that me and Black talked about the other night is the reluctance for the youngest, because from what you're saying right there and what the youth need to do, a lot of them just don't even know. They don't even have that guidance to know to do that.
Yeah, if your parents not force feeding it,
and we talked about this. Me and him talked about this. The other reason, the reason why is because there's a gap between the older generation and the younger generation, as far as meeting that halfway point. The youngest feel like the older people don't care about us and they ain't trying to share nothing. So we bump them. We got to do what we got to do. And then the older people feel like the youngest just don't want it. They're not receptive.
And you have something to think that, but the thing is, once you give up, you gave up.
Yeah,
no doubt.
That's my thing. So as an older person, right, you cannot give up.
Oh, no doubt.
Because then you let those youngsters down. Just like we got a generation where people, I say, they didn't get out and march, and to see the people come out for the event on Saturday with a t-shirt, to see them come out for that event, no matter where you from, if you're from the DC, live in Maryland, no matter what, it's how you support. So if you support and teach the kids, eventually they're going to come around. If you offer them things like, where I grew up, I'm still in the city area. So when I see the young ones that may need jobs or whatever case may be, I tell them where the websites to go on to. I tell them, oh, they're hiring here. Go here. I got somebody here that can check, that can look out for you in the sense of walking you through the application process. So it's different processes what we have to do to teach the kids on how to go, because a lot of them aren't taught.
And then, so I feel like I might be like this, right in the center of that disconnect, with right in between the too old and the too young. And I always feel like this the same way. I feel like when I'm talking to a child, like, it's more my duty for me to teach a child than for a child to understand what I'm trying to teach them. So for the older people, it is definitely more, because the reason why they are who they are is because the ball was dropped, and it was more than likely dropped on that end of the pogo stick, right? So it is definitely your duty to reach back at all point in time. And then just another point, just to the especially the bounce beat crew, right? Is so I grew up starting off a JY fan and a BYB fan, right? So then one of the things with the craft.
Wait. You come from Southeast?
I'm a mixed breed, but I've definitely had most of my years in the southeastern quadrant.
Okay. Yes.
So, because
he was hanging in the northeast with his father.
My family from northeast, so
but he done moved.
Now, the reason why I asked you that, because on the southeast side, that was JY.
No, he BYB,
but I'm a BYB. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of that northeast.
That's why I asked you. Like, what year did you really get into go-go?
I've been in the go-go since probably about '92. I probably was a JY fan from about '92 to back got into Onyx, and then it was over from there. Yeah. I respect.
He introduced me to BYB.
Yeah, I had him up to Byron Manor.
Wow.
Yeah. But one thing about those bands,
I'd love to see that picture. You up in there with a bunch of they were real young.
Nah, they weren't young.
Oh no, Byron Manor, we was real young.
You talking about that?
We was young.
You talking about that Sunday night party?
Yeah, TCB just started out.
I was in my 30s.
We were no youngest up in there.
Yeah, we was about 17, 18. No, we was young in there. But one thing about the craft is, right, a lot, if you look at all of them, like, they all went to a transitional place where they were like, all right, we ain't accepted in these clubs, so let me add a girl, let me add a pocket, let me slow the pocket down, let me add more music, let me add more R&B, let me just be able to control my crowd so that it ain't that crowd, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's part of the craft of what go-go is.
And they can do it. They can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what a lead mic does. So when them parents saying, I don't really want my kids to be in that, well, then now band, it's time for y'all to step up, because y'all got to hold it too. Y'all got to make sure that y'all holding down this go-go thing as well. Right. It's your responsibility, just like it's the responsibility of the elders to pass it down. And again, like you said, like, some of that need to be passed down.
But see, it's hard to tell a musician this. And so I'm sitting here listening to what you're saying, and
tell a musician
I'm around because a lot of musicians feel like, I just want to be a musician. I don't want to feel like I'm old up to bringing up anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Bills, I get it.
But I mean, I'm just saying, not all of them.
Right.
Just a lot of them just want to be a musician. Let me just be artistic. Let me do my craft without having to worry about what you were saying earlier. You got to have one with me.
That's what I'm saying, though, Nigo. When we was playing basketball as kids, right?
Right.
Remember the big boys played and you just sit on the side. You wasn't even able to play yet.
Yeah.
But you just over the side. They go down that way. You might shoot around and get off the court when they come back.
Right.
You listen to G talk. G say, man, I used to carry foot stuff in the black hole, sit up there in the behind, whatever. Now listen to what that experience done turned them into.
Right.
An actor, a public figure, a dynamic brother, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's just simple. If you just take the kid to a band practice with you, right?
Yeah.
Just say, man, look, today we got 12 kids that gonna watch us band practice. You don't know which one of those kids gonna get inspired, right?
Might be the next Smoker Mickey. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I've been sneaking him in everywhere I ain't supposed to sneak him all this time, right? Not really go-go's because I wasn't a go-go head,
right? But the Chucks and the CB and
you know, I was just like on some smooth stuff, you know. So I really wasn't chasing go-go's, right? And but I had Mark with me all the time. So now Mark doing shows. He got his own shows up to Howard University, up to Howard Theater,
Oh, yeah?
right? He in the meeting directing the Trick Inc. meetings. Nah, this is not what we're gonna do. We're gonna put them here. We're gonna do that. But all that came from the fact that he got that exposure.
That's what we
to
was talking
see
about
what was
earlier.
going on.
That's what
But
we
if we
talking
don't
about
expose them, how would they know?
And that's what I always break down to as far as the youth. Myself and my spouse, we're both in the go-go, in the entertainment. So therefore, we kind of force feed it to our kids, so they hear it. They hear it in the house. They hear it in the car. They come to our outside shows. But then you get to the point where their dad will be like, why we didn't bring the kids out to the outside show? Man, you never know what happened out here. I don't want to have to keep an eye on him while I'm up here. So it's not, music never killed nobody. It's just the people that, that become involved into the event. So and that's what I'm saying. And I think they messed up when they took the music out of the schools.
Oh, yeah,
Because
that was definitely big.
it's and I'm peer mediator at a PG County high school, and they act out because they have nothing to do.
That's crazy because all the musicians was coming from school.
That's
Eastern
it.
Band,
Blue,
Band.
Eastern, yeah.
What's the joint in Georgetown?
But to me, like the bands
Right,
are still in the schools. It's just that the lack of intrigue into being in the band.
No, we don't.
No,
They
they
don't
definitely-
have music in schools.
They got the program.
I mean, they have bands. They have
that's
like
what I'm saying.
marching band.
Yeah, marching band. Yeah.
But there's no choir. There's no. And if you don't pay in the band, you can't take an instrumental music.
Right.
There's nothing.
right
There's nothing. Like there's barely art.
And they killed a lot of the venues as well too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
barely
of course.
art, So it's unfortunate because the kids are exposed to social media. They're exposed to YouTube. They're exposed to the rap, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if the parents listen to the rap versus to what Go-Go's giving out, you be like, hey, go to the Go-Go, please. Go to the Go-Go, please go to the Go-Go. Because you don't have that. I'm shooting. I'm this.
Get
I'm
high
that.
every day.
Yeah, you don't really have that in the Go-Go industry unless they covering somebody and they not even saying their lyrics. So it's just unfortunate that with our youth, if we're talking about the youth, it starts within what's teaching them, which is the school system. They take it all out. So they only know what they get, and it's just unfortunate for Go-Go at the youth level.
Definitely gotta be one community because that's how you get that stuff back into the schools. That's how you get these clubs back open. If everybody moving the same way, but the city, we don't move the same way.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh,
But
no.
Black, doesn't that go back
it's
to
a
what
melting
my
pot,
original thoughts? Like, well, we know what the problem is, but we don't put money back into what we need to do in order to make that happen. Because we know that as long as Go-Go been around, or you say you're not a Go-Go head, but like I tell everybody, like back when we was coming up, we can go to anybody's block and somebody's doo-wopping, playing an instrument,
Right.
something, just whatever. It was.
Now I went to Go-Go.
I was about to say he not.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
get it confused.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm saying when I was a kid, though, I was chasing a basketball, right? Trying
Yeah.
to do my thing.
Right,
I was
right.
only allowed to go to 2 Go-Go's, and that was Coliseum and the Atlas, right?
Right,
Because they was around my hood.
Right,
So when you say the Maverick Room, the Howard Theater, and all that, in my teens, I didn't do that.
right.
Now in my 20s and 30s, even now in my 50s, you're going to see me in each and every one.
Right.
And every artist will tell you that I'm going to come in, I'm going to order my 2 Heinekens, I'm going to enjoy myself. A lot of times I'm just by myself, you know what I'm saying? But I enjoy the music. But I'm saying as a kid, right, I grew up in a family of a band, all the way from my mother singing the blues on down, right? So I'm privy to music more so than just Go-Go. That was just limited. Now, I love Go-Go. But as a kid, little kid, like he was 17 in the Go-Go. 17, I wasn't in the Go-Go. Right? 20-something, I was in the Go-Go. That's
Right.
after college. 30-something. When it was time to get fly and chase girls, that's when I was there.
Well, let's talk about your theme, because you made mention of it more than once. Like that's kind of like what attracts people to Tricky Inc. entertainment type of events.
Right.
Because we do, you're past the party thing.
Right.
You never gave a number as far as how many years you've really been in it. You said it started back in the cabaret days. You said
Right.
in the
So that's probably
early
like
90s, you said?
92. I would say 92.
So you talking about over 30 years?
Yeah, about 29, something like that.
Okay, so,
but in those times, I took breaks. Moved to Atlanta, got away from stuff, got married. You know what I'm saying? But I always had my posts on entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I always had my posts on promote. You know, so I never lost touch with the people. But I didn't do that 30 years straight like some of these great musicians did. You understand? But I still understand what's going on.
So has it always been an event, far as mentally, far as like, you know what, when I do something, let's start. Who were your idols when you first started doing parties? Like, you know what, I want my parties to be something like this, but even better.
I never really had an idol in it, to be honest with you. I didn't. I just lived within the moment, you know. I always like fly stuff, right? I always think that pretty girls make for a sexy party.
Right.
Right. I always say when pretty girls in the building, brothers gonna spend money. Right. So no disrespect to anybody else, but that was the blueprint for me, just because that's what I like to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you being around some nice looking girls and some good stuff, everything else good. Now the music pumping, everything better. You want to buy people drinks, because everybody.
Because you feeling good.
Yeah. I mean, that's 101.
Yeah.
The men are going to come where the ladies are.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's 101.
And then, I come from a family of having a good time. So you see our Tricky Inc. parties, but you don't see my Tricky Inc. family when we get down, right? I'm telling you now, then that's a party.
I was invited to one of your I was invited to one of your cookouts one time, and I didn't make it. When I was working with Subtle,
right?
And Walker told me about it. For whatever reason, I didn't make it through.
Right.
And he was like, "Man, you should have made that."
It's different. Have a good time, man.
Totally different.
We like to have a good time, and most of the people that come around us and party with Tricky Entertainment just because they party with us before.
Right.
We have football games. Dallas Cowboy games in Dallas and New Orleans. Atlanta. Hell of a party we had in Atlanta,
Right.
So, man, great Lil Wayne said, if I don't do nothing, I'm a ball. we on that shit right here. We going to have a good time regardless.
Absolutely.
If I remember correctly, you tried weeklies at Zanzibar at one time.
No, at Carter Vaz.
Carter Vaz?
Yeah, so not at Zanzibar.
I thought you was trying to. Matter of fact, you was doing football parties. I think up there every week.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
We outgrew that in our football party. We got couldn't get all the people in that wanted to get in, and that's when we moved it out to FedEx Field. Right.
Right.
And then I guess we had
that FedEx Field joint was crazy.
That was history.
That was a Daniel Snyder suite. Epic party.
So we had a party, Redskin Cowboy, and Daniel Snyder suite.
Oh my goodness.
Really? You got his. Hold up. You got, I don't know if people really caught that. So you got Daniel Snyder's suite?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, presidential suite. Yeah,
epic.
Yeah, Daniel calling me now. I told him I'm here with the show. No. But we had the suite. We rented the suite. So we go up there. Me and my man Ray go up there. He's like, man, what you going to do? I said, man, we're going to get a Daniel Snyder suite. They said hold 1,200 people. But we can sell all the suites, right? For 25 people per suite. So that's going to get us to 2,000. So, Ray like, all right, man, if that's what you feel. It don't make sense. I said, man, it's cool. And then they told us we can have the food. Then they baked. And then,
running food up the ramp and everything.
Man, when I tell you,
it's too easy. So we were running food up the ramp and everything. Fish dinners,
that was
everything,
one
man.
hell of a party.
That's epic.
Big up to my man DJ Solo.
Yeah.
And my man Nate and Steve Francis bought all the bottles.
Yes, he did.
Circle Boys was in the building.
Absolutely.
All right. Big up to Virginia State alumni. They locked it down.
Yeah.
Shoot, Rob. They ran out of champagne, but they didn't run. They said we had never run out of liquor. They took me downstairs. I said, we throw a match down here. We all do. They wasn't used to us drinking champagne like that. And we had a football game.
Right.
But once again, we had them pretty girls in there, man. Them brothers stopped busting them bars. We had a good time.
It was a wrap.
Yeah.
It's too easy after that, right?
We had a good time, man.
Out of all of your parties.
And I'm going to pass the mic on this one.
Matter of fact, let me start with Youngblood.
Hey, go ahead, Mark. Give it to him.
What was the most memorable out of all of the parties, the Tricky Inc. parties?
I feel like the one that blew the lid off is my favorite, which was we had Raheem Devon at the all-white party in the convention center. So that was already.
I wonder. That's gotta be. Yeah,
That's the one you're talking
That's
about.
what I've been talking about.
Yeah. So to me,
we got a good memory.
that was a beautiful look. Like it was.
Hey, Black.
it was
What did I
beautiful.
say?
You said that the other day.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He couldn't even get back in.
Yeah, man, we had to fight to get up in. Remember, you had to basically walk us up in the joint.
Congo,
right?
And tried to come back and like, what the
man? It was the most beautiful scene I've seen.
Absolutely.
I mean, it felt like Wakanda.
Yeah, that was. It was.
You know what I'm saying?
It really did.
For
All
people,
white Wakanda.
let me tell you something. If you weren't there, it just to see it, it was a beautiful sight.
It was absolutely.
Damn, that was my favorite. He called that out. That was my
Really?
favorite event ever
Wow.
because of the fact that cause we were standing up at the top and you looked at the glass and you can see all these people out here dressed in white. You know what I mean? So people paid extremely fair, right? And they came dressed to the T.
Absolutely.
So it was an incredible feeling to see your people coming to your party, and it looked like that. And this was like a thrust for like Raheem, you know what I mean? Because it's like he was just starting out or whatever case may be, and right over there he just blew up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then Sutter, y'all went on a run. Sutter went on a run at that time also.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that was my favorite event.
I remember Walker telling me, we had that meeting. He's like, I was like, man, we can go up in here, man, because they ain't even pushing us. They ain't even put our name up on the flyer like that and all that. And Walk said, don't worry about it. Me and Black, that's my man. He's doing us a favor.
Yeah.
He said, just remember, he's doing us a favor. So I was like, man, we out cranked them bambas, man. We ain't tripping off Raheem. And because you had another band out in the hallway.
The other band in the hallway introducing Black Alley.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's
nobody was here.
That's where their run came from too.
And they went on their run after that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When we get to give back to our community like that, that's when Tricky think they doing their thing.
Absolutely.
You know, because we always gonna put y'all in front of somebody, and then when they say, when I left there and I've been hot ever since, right?
Yeah, the fix.
Man,
We put the fix.
that's the best feeling you can have.
Right.
Like I don't get that check, but that's cool with me.
Right.
Y'all got y'all run, but my best party wasn't their best party.
Okay, so what's your best party?
My best party was the all black extravaganza.
At the convention center.
With Chrisette Michelle performing live. Black Alley.
Frank Sturris.
And
Scooby, but Scooby them in the lobby.
In the lobby.
Right? Rock the lobby.
Yep.
Funk killed
A
that.
special guest. Entertaining James Focus.
With his shiny jacket.
Man, Funk killed that.
Hey.
With his shiny jacket.
Full rocking.
Yeah,
man.
I was there. That was my
Shaking,
best
man.
joke. When Nico said it was the white,
5,800
he said it was
strong.
mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Black Fly.
You could not even dance on
You see
rhythm.
the
The
video?
floor was shaking so hard.
Yeah.
Real, you had to kind of like dance with the floor rhythm. It was
He
great.
told me today, he was like, man, the all white joint. I was like, man, the all black
Black.
joint.
Yeah,
Chris
all
said,
black
and that's
joint.
what I
I ain't mad
said.
at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That was my favorite, you know.
Right.
And then also, something about Summer Breeze.
Yeah, that last summer breeze for me was crazy.
That last Summer Breeze bridged the gap between me and my son. He in his 30s.
Is that right?
50s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell our listeners, how is that so?
Well, he took the mic from us, right? Picked the entertainment, him and Rook. Big up to my
Shout
man
out to
Rook.
Rook,
Yeah. And he got his boy, what's the little kid with Eat?
Eat Malik.
Malik
Shout out
on the
to
red
Malik.
carpet, right? He did all the interviews instead of us going with our traditional situation, right? He gave us one band. Who we had? What band? Five?
One of them.
Right. But he gave you
All the
picked that
time,
one
really.
band and told me get out the way.
Right.
In this party, I seen the age of 25 to 65. Right?
That's what you want.
Everybody looking good, DC smooth, a good summer night by the water. I can see the Capitol right there, the monument right there, so I feel DC-ish, right?
Right.
And then I'm gonna see the video. Girl came from Africa, and she just was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing! All my people, you know." She
Yeah,
just
we had
gave
a lot
it
of
to
people
her.
from a lot of places.
That's the most out of towners,
Right.
right? I'm telling you now because I know from the ticket sales.
Right.
And just to see it right in the heartbeat of the city, right downtown in D.C.
Where we from?
You know, just right there. That just was, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And Summer Breeze, it just do something to me when I relate to Washington, D.C.
Right.
So
It's so sexy.
This-
For me though,
Go ahead.
just real quick. So for me, what he first said was that targeted age range. Like you don't really see that where you got somebody 25,
The 60.
cool, because it's the 65, but it ain't the old 65.
Right,
And not
right.
to, not to take away from anything, but the ones that can keep up still, you know, be fly.
Right, right.
You know,
What you call us, my old dudes or what?
old dudes with young shoes.
I like that.
We are old dudes, but we keep Prada and Gucci on.
Absolutely. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
So, you know, that range of being able to, you know, not be in a place with kids that's 25 or 30 and still not feel uncomfortable because they dress to a T, you dress to a T, y'all all came to have a good time. So to me, that's why that was the best. And of course, we had like the most people that we had out of
Yeah,
all
that
the
was the
Summer
most.
Breeze, too.
Oh,
But
last
last
year?
Summer
year was
Breeze.
the biggest
Okay.
Summer Breeze.
Really?
Absolutely.
So what was the number on that?
Oh.
58.
58.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you that convention center. Just because when you up in there the way that was,
Yeah.
it felt like initially when we say about an hour before Soto played, it's like about 3,000 up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, by the time Soto clicked sticks, man, you could not move. And the only other time I seen the convention center like that was when Chuck died.
Yeah.
That was the only other time like the convention center was on swole.
Man, that's,
For that
that's
white
how it
party,
was on the
I
black
had
party too.
I had problems trying to explain. So that vision was great to me though, because I
Yes.
had problem. I try to explain to somebody what this is. Like, no, it's a big white party. It was like,
Right.
we're at the convention center. Like, that's
Right.
not a club. You know,
Right.
so yeah, that was a great vision.
So me and Nico were talking and we were saying, you know, it really didn't. It had got to the point where Tricky Entertainment, it was just that. It didn't matter. You could have. We said it could be
Yeah.
me and him up
Right.
there and a saxophone and a drum set.
Whoa,
Is that
whoa,
right?
whoa.
Right. It's just gonna be like they having a party because it wasn't. And I think one of the things, just in my personal opinion, one of the things that's a big draw is you guys don't saturate. It's not like, oh, every Thursday they throw a party.
Right,
So I mean, hey,
Right.
it's like once, twice, maybe 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
2 times.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe 3. You lucky if it's 3. You know. So it's just like, man, if I ain't make this one, I gotta make this one, or I don't like who on the court. I don't know. They just have, Summer Breeze. I don't know who play, because I mean, at this point in time, like who's on Summer Breeze? I don't know.
Right.
But we got to keep
But
that ticket.
I'm just
right
saying,
there.
but it's just like I'm going. It
But
don't
you know
matter.
what I like though? And it's sad to say, I like when people say I wasn't ready, so I ain't come. I mean, I ain't had my
Yeah.
stuff together, so I just
Yeah.
chilled. I be like,
Good
yeah,
idea.
Yeah,
go ahead,
you know it's
chill.
gonna be pictures. You know it's gonna be that
know
carpet.
we gonna take these pictures.
Right, you know it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, we
go.
gonna
You
roll.
gotta walk across the carpet. There's no
Yes.
other like
Yeah,
you
good
gotta
idea.
walk across the carpet.
So I asked you earlier, was there a blueprint for us how you lay out your parties? Because Miss Lady just made notice of it. Like, if you come into a Tricky Ink party, it's the best party in your mind coming out the gate. It's going to take a hell of a party to beat out this party.
Right.
One hell of a party. But it had to be something like you said, you like 5 things.
Right.
But that's, I mean, creatively, is there something that actually said, you know what, could you point to and said, this is what really made me want to push being in this direction? Because you say you didn't have no idols or nobody you looked up to. Like, I looked up to Russell Simmons before he did what he did, and but you appreciate their work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there was nothing that you could really look at, or you're just one of a kind.
No, not one of a kind. Like I said, experience. Like even when me and Bone was together doing our thing, right? Under Kurt.
Right.
It still was important to be fly, right? To me, that's just part of DC culture. Just being fly has changed. Like, we might Gucci tennis shoes, linen pants. That's fly right now, 15 years ago, a whole linen suit might have been fly with 6 buttons on it, but that's gone.
Right.
It's
Right.
gone.
Right.
So,
Right.
we
Gone. That's gone.
Hey, we look at all them old pictures and laugh all the
Back
time.
then, you look at my old pictures back then, I was fly.
Yeah.
You know, but now fly has changed. But I still think you still got to have some type of feel good about yourself when you come to this door, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't feel, this probably ain't for you. When girls tell me that, I be like, I understand.
The reason why I asked you that, I saw something, I picked up something from when you was here Sunday night. And I noticed you just have a certain eye, a certain gravitas about certain things. The way you put those girls together in the picture, you was looking for a certain look. You know what I'm saying? You wanted, and you said, okay, that's it right there. Now take the picture, Nico. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things that you look for. I can hear it in your characters. Like you have a certain eye for things, and that's what make different people excel at different things.
Could I answer that question real quick?
Please.
Like,
because he sure ain't helping.
He really don't like to shine, right? So what I like that he does just about people in general, right? Not just only us as Tricky Entertainment, but people in general. He picks the best out of whatever you think you can do best.
Absolutely.
And he relates everything to that, right? To build you forward, right? To say you can do anything on your own because you're taught how to do everything. And then prime example, I was one of those people. I just had cabarets and stuff like that. And then he saw something just in myself that say, you're bigger than everything that you're doing, right? But this is what you got to point out of what you're doing. He took that and he ran with it. And I think he's such a great talent in dissecting people and what they're good at and put them in a place to win. Right. So no matter, and not only just win in Tricky Entertainment, just win at everything that they do. Right. Because now you got that one point that you know that you're great at, and you can take on that into the world and become whatever you want to become. And I think that's the biggest thing about what he does, and he cultivates your personality into what you're good at. So now you can express that to other people and in what you do. And I think that's the best talent to me out of just anybody. If you can have that talent to dissect a person and create the greater good out of them, I think that's his exceptional talent.
That's like a music producer.
That's awesome.
And actually that translates into the parties. If you think of the first Summer Breeze to now, first of all, you go into the Nationals baseball stadium and you don't think about nobody putting those straw chairs in the VIP section and tabletop. So just to be able to have that vision that this is just a raw space that we could then turn into something that is beautiful, make it look sexy, right? So that's a very true fact that as far as on an individual lesson, he'll definitely put you in the best place to be in, and then that translates as far as the parties as well. Every party that we've had has grown. Even if we talk about the Black Party, we talked about Convention Center, but the last one we just had was at the Anthem at Southwest Waterfront. That's $1 million facility. So
$58 million facility. So when I came in the door, I called all of them. Right? They were like, "Man, that's gonna be out of budget." I said, "All right, then." My wife said, "Yeah, that's gonna be a little out of budget." I said, "Okay." Yeah. I went to that show. I called Bink back. I said, "Man, how much money you got? We gotta get this show."
What shows you go to?
I went to the Erykah Badu joint.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just the sound and the ambiance in which it possessed, and the fact that Tricky Inc. style, we gotta give y'all the best.
Absolutely.
They following us. Nah, I don't want to shortchange you. I want to give you the best shit. Every time you give me $50, I wanted to give you the best. The effort was to give you the best. You say you come to National Stadium Park. I want to give you a national artist. I want to give you an up-and-coming artist. I want to give you a hot local band. I want to give you 72 police officers so everybody's safe, right? And then dudes can meet girls. Like I always tell my son, you got a lot of things that go wrong, when you got 5,000 people. But when people come up to me all the time and say, "Remember you had the party in Zanzibar in '96? This my wife, these my 3 kids right here." But then I flip too. They'll be like, "Remember that month I met at your party?" But it goes both ways. But just the whole interaction. And I tell people too, man, we get into it sometime on our videos because they say, "Oh, it's a fashion show." I say, "No, they party. If you want to be
at
cute,
first,
you can be cute. And you better be ready for that red carpet, right? But after that, they leave with them shoes in their hand.
Right.
That ass be on the table. You know what I'm saying? They go and be sweaty.
Yeah.
They ain't tripping off their heel on the way. Take the pictures on the way out.
Right.
And tell me did they party or not.
Right.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be able to perform at a Tricky when I was with Vibe.
Right.
So, but it was to the fact like I'm trying to hurry up and get this over with so I can party. You know what I'm saying? It's like you performing, but it's not. I mean, because you have the mixture of the national artists, and so I mean, even though they called the go-go artists the local celebrities, it's like, damn, I want to see her. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance and like to be like this. You share the same stage, when you know with someone of the caliber, and I think that's an awesome draw.
You hit that summertime? Summertime?
That was Camise.
What
That
you
was
hit?
Breezy. Afro.
Give it to us.
Let's hear that.
Nah.
Let's hear
We
that.
gonna close out the show with
You
the piece.
tried. You keep on.
Such a sucker, man. There's the gift, man. I'm glad I can't say. I'll tell you that, man.
When you said when people say that they didn't party or they didn't do this and do that, like Prime Example, the party he liked with the cassette party, with that phone ended on. I'm talking about they were on the actual tables, man, and they party, man.
Yeah.
And that was like, you know, just seeing that and just seeing them have a great time. I'm also on the back on the back side of what goes on or whatever. Pause. And and I'll allow, like, you know, for me that day it's work. You know what I mean? Because I want y'all to have a great time.
Right.
When you come in, so for me, it's work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but after that, like I said, when we get together, them family functions, that's when I have my most fun. Those days. But the day of the event, that's work. And it's people don't realize the work that goes into giving
It's
a
a lot
great
of
event.
work.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And we go all the way back to the dance contest. Remember back in the day we had a dance contest?
Oh, yeah.
And then we got age groups.
Yeah.
And if you cheer your kid on, you get disqualified.
And you better,
No coaches.
And you
Bad boy right at me,
and
right?
you better have your bankroll ready for that day, because them kids
Right.
gonna
So
want
They
that.
want that money, so they think like
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's how we was raised, right?
That's right.
You know, dance contest, you couldn't even dance that
Yeah,
good.
that's
Before
what
that
we
$2, you was doing the split and
Man,
everything.
they
out
get
there.
way more than
Yeah,
$2
yeah.
at least.
Right.
Hey, so look,
They walking away with a bankroll.
Nah, they get them a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
out of them
they-
joints.
So look, we got we gonna wrap up. We got to talk about the next couple events, like this Saturday. Got a huge event coming up. Tell everybody what we got going on with the cigar wine piece you got this Saturday.
This Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. I'm
right?
sorry.
This Sunday at Clinton Sports Park. So, you know, we've been going to Wine Festival for a long time.
Okay.
And me and Bink was always saying that, you know, and my man Sugar Ray, I mean, at one point, you know, after they drink this wine all day, they want to hear some
Cut
music
loose.
and get
Right.
down a little bit. So if we can create that lane, there you go. So we pioneered the situation 3 years ago, you know, and good, because now 12 people done followed the blueprint, right? Which is fine with me. I like doing that.
You said 12 people?
Yeah,
So
since
it's 12
the very first time we
So,
started.
so other people are trying to do the same
It's
type
been
of party.
plenty of wine festivals,
Right.
but none with entertainment, right?
Okay.
So now we integrated the cigar, wine, and music festival, right?
Okay.
And it's picking up. It's trending, and it's going to trend in Philly next, and, you know, which is a good thing.
Right.
But once again, for our people, for your little $37.50, you come out there, we have 5 genres of music. We have reggae, my man Curry Kalu. We got jazz from Marcus Johnson, you know, who's a legend in jazz.
No doubt.
We got Tyra LeVon. This sister is killing in the UK. She's from here. And, you know, if you don't got her album Soul Set Free, just check it out. It's a good look.
Yeah, we need that
Right?
on the station.
Yeah. I can get her here whenever you're ready.
We need that.
Yeah, and then we got my man Secret Society. They gonna go old school hip hop. They gonna give us a little bit of everything we need, and we gonna close it out with a legendary James Funk, man. And we gonna have a good time.
Proper utensil.
Big up to my wife. We opening up the Bonita Sangria and wine. We're coming out with our own wine. It's
Is that right?
spearheaded by my wife. Yeah, so she's gonna be. This gonna be her first day.
Oh, you say we. So you're part of the process of putting this whole thing together?
So, in my household,
That's his wife.
I don't know
Like,
how your house works,
Yeah.
but it's always sweet.
There you go.
Tricky,
right.
she handling stuff in the back.
yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
She got her wine called Bonita Sangria. I'm in the back smushing the grapes. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
with your feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, so we got the Bonita Sangria coming out this week, and then this week, and in 2 weeks we'll have the wine, the whole line out. So we should be ready to go.
So where's the availability gonna be for these wines?
Just for this week, right? Just for this week, it's gonna be only at the event.
Okay.
But stay tuned for the information in July. We're gonna try to get it going, but don't get it twisted. I'll put it in the back of them trucks and bring it to you.
There you go.
So is it like Bonita, like pretty girl?
Bonita
Okay,
means
yeah,
pretty girl.
yeah, like pretty girl.
Okay.
Okay.
Say that again. She won't sing though.
She will. She saved it.
Nah. And she got the gift. Boom.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this lady's so slept on, and I hate it, for her, but it's a blessing for me because at least she got time to sit up here and bump her gums. Yeah, bump her gums with me. You know how we talk.
Right.
So
I got one more. Don't forget August the 11th.
Oh no, I'm about to lead into that. I got you on that. Yeah. No, we just talk about what's happening for this Saturday. I mean, it's Sunday. So this Sunday, doors open at or the gates open at 12 o'clock, right?
12 noon.
Okay.
12 noon. We had a lot of rules with PG County. Can't bring no alcohol in.
Okay.
All right. We do have a beer truck.
Please
and
read.
wine.
Please say that one more time.
You can't bring no grills, no alcohol, right? But we will be serving beer and wine. You can bring cooler food, right?
No hard liquor, right?
No hard
Plastic.
liquor.
Does it have to be plastic containers? Glass.
Well, we're giving away glasses.
Okay.
For everybody who wants to taste any wine that you got.
Okay.
So each person will come through the door. They will have their own personalized tricky ink sipper, right? So we good.
So they're not. They're not drinking out of plastic cups.
No,
right?
we good.
Okay.
I'm gonna give them something that they're gonna take home.
There you go.
People send me when it was snowing. Everybody kept sending me pictures of their souvenir glasses, and so we're gonna have that for you. And the tent's got to be fire retardant. What's that? NAPA. 171.
Because they blowing cigars.
Yeah, and if you don't have a fire retardant tent, they're possibly gonna put you out. Right. So not only take your tent.
So that's if you're bringing your own tent. That's what you need to do.
Right. So definitely. So now we got limited tent space anyway.
Yeah. The tent space is already filled up right now for the tents that you go to purchase it already set up.
Yeah, they sold out.
They already sold out already. Mm-hmm. But if you have that licensed tent, right,
and go to the back.
And you can go to the back and you can put that tent up, but it has to be regulated by PG County. If it's not, you're able to get your tent taken down and you can possibly be removed.
What's that? NAPA 171?
171. Yes.
Okay. If not, if I'm saying it wrong, it's on the website.
So y'all provide. Hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all got tents. You can buy tents already put up.
Yeah.
You don't have to lug in.
No.
Bro,
and it come with 6 tickets.
And it came with 6 tickets.
Yeah.
Sip the wine. 5
enjoy yourself.
$5 of entertainment.
What I like most in that though is that like the pre-sale tickets. This is what I like most of all our events. The pre-sale tickets that we sell, that people that I say tricky youngsters buy before they even find out who's on the ticket. Going back to what you're saying, no matter who's there, I want to give a big shout out to them. We respect you and we appreciate you, and we hope we're doing the right thing by you. Keep on buying them pre-sale early bird tickets and get there. Thank you much.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Belinda that was listening on the Win DC. She said she had a birthday May 29th. So shout out to her. She said she's coming out.
She ready to stretch out. Yeah. She ready to stretch all the way on out.
Come on there, man.
That's a perfect birthday party.
The good food, the good wine, and the great entertainment.
Absolutely. So up to our 3rd year straight though. Cheers, one of our supporters down there. They come with the crab fries and all that good stuff. My man Al Barbecue, we gonna get it in. Yeah.
Okay, I was just about to ask about the food availability since you can't.
Crab cake later. I mean, for $10, you're gonna have great food. You know, just buy your food, or you can bring some cheese and crackers and sip with your wine, or we're gonna provide it.
And Miss Joan White said,
say that last part again.
Huh?
Was that last part? Or
we're providing.
Provide what?
Cheese and crackers. Little
fruit.
I'm telling you.
All you gotta do is cross your legs.
Leave your pinky in there.
What Joe was saying, man?
She said, y'all talking, y'all running your gums. But Tricky Inc. 12th Annual Summer Breeze, August 11, 2018.
We get ready. Can we do this?
Into that.
Before the interview even started, She typed that on like 23 times.
I got you. We got this. We got this. Me and Black had this conversation. Thank you. We had this conversation. All right. You know what? We gonna keep the family happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't keep them happy. We're gonna have problems later on. So look, let's get into this big event coming up August 11th. Go ahead. Let's lay it on down. We'll talk about the acts last.
Talk about the acts last.
Last. Okay. But what you got coming up August 11th?
August 11th, Summer Breeze, right? It's a token of Washington, D.C. It's our opportunity to come together with our politicians, our friends, co-workers, childhood, and out-of-towners. All of us come together, right? We got some amazing entertainment for y'all. Got 2 local artists and 2 national artists. We got them all locked in. We're waiting for the national contract to be put on point, and then we should release everything. On the day of Sunday, we will have early bird tickets available for just $30.
This Sunday?
This Sunday at the Wine Festival.
At the Wine Festival.
One day only.
So you
One
have to,
day
you have
only.
to, you have to be there to get
No,
your.
it's going to go online.
Okay.
Or you
Okay.
can be there, but it's only for that one day.
Okay.
So we're going to have the early bird tickets for $30.
Oh. So obviously, we gonna have to footnote that one right there. We got because this is one day.
One day.
One single day.
Right.
This Sunday.
Right.
Whether you be there or you get it online, get your early bird ticket for August the 11th. Why? Why do they not want to miss this one?
Well, you know what I'm saying? If you ever been to one before, I don't have to answer
No,
that
okay,
question.
no, but no, okay.
Right.
Let's talk about
Okay.
the one who has. We want to
Once
entice
again.
the one who's like, dang, I keep hearing about this. Why should I be there?
You got to experience it one time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
just
one
the
of those.
heartbeat of our city, and it's the staple of the summer to me, right? And that's what I hear from my friends and my colleagues and everybody feels the same way.
It's the ultimate grown people
Right,
party,
yeah.
man.
So you got to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
You on your grown up shit.
Yeah.
You can wear your shoes kind of comfortable because I need you to dance after you, but get your shit right on the red carpet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then after that, we can cut up.
Right.
Yeah. So, big up to Muriel Browser, man. The man always come out and give us some love. She's been very supportive. of
And
everything
congratulations to the
New
mayor.
adoption. She adopted a
we're
baby.
doing. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, she done jumped
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. So, and then,
I'm going to tell her now, it ain't all what you think it is.
It's
Right.
wonderful.
Right. Right.
I'm with you, Miss Lady. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So one thing,
Yeah, I hear you.
when you come through them gates, y'all stars. So you're going to feel just as much as a person who's a multi-millionaire because everybody come through the gate. You come through that gate, we trying to make you feel like a star that night.
Wait a minute. Are the tables gonna go on sale Sunday too?
Nah, the table price going to stay the same.
No, I'm just saying that are they gonna be available?
No, not the
Not
table.
Sunday?
No, just
Oh,
the
okay.
general admission. We
I
just-
told myself I wasn't going back unless I
Right,
had
you
somewhere
gotta
to sit
take-
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you a nice little
Yeah,
table,
you gotta sit
VIP.
down.
You got to sit
Yeah,
down for a while.
Yeah, because it's
But
just
you only
like,
want to sit down for a minute to
yeah,
fix up.
yeah. You
People
want to
buy
run
these
around, run your
tables,
mouth.
They go to VIP.
And
Yeah,
don't even
it-
sit
it's
down.
For a
done.
little while,
Yeah.
but they get to move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit down,
But I
right,
get
right.
it though, because they want to rest them feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's all good. Have plenty of seat for y'all who want to buy a table.
There it is.
Yep. So
There
that's
it
it,
is.
man. I look forward to seeing y'all Sunday. You got close out, son?
Nope.
We good, man?
Nobody got no.
Man,
He
special
running my show for me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. But no,
Joan is satisfied. Joan is satisfied.
no, we really appreciate you coming through, man, and talking about what you got coming up. But what I think a question that I've always had burning in me, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is have you ever been enticed to do weeklies?
No. No, I mean, the short answer is no. Because, we like to do an event, right? I want you to get ready for what I'm about to do,
Exactly.
right?
I
Even
think
the
this
wine
lady
festival.
said it the best. Like, you don't want to oversaturate.
Right.
it.
Right.
I mean, but weekly is good, right? Like, I idolize Dwayne Nutt.
That's what I'm saying.
That's our
Weeklies
little
are
bro.
very difficult to do.
But he getting it done,
Right.
and he getting it done right.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying? Mo Kemp done had his run. I mean, I can go on and on. Fat Cat. A lot of dudes had run. They did things that I couldn't do.
Right.
I failed at that. I wasn't good at that, right? So I defloyed them people. I stayed in my lane.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like to do an event. Right, I like to do an event. I like to get you ready. I want you to go to the mall. I want you to go to Modell's and get this. Oh, girls. Girls call me now. My chick got the cover on it. It's pink. I got the so. That's what I like. So it's not really my forte. It's not what I do well. We at Tricky Inc. We just like to prepare two, maybe 3 events a year, and we good. That's it.
Because I know my cousin went one day, and one of the years that she did come, and she's from New York, but moved to North Carolina. Now she here. So she's always said that DC culture, was like back in the day, they would just fly. But she's like now, she's older, but she's like now everybody just look dusty. Like at the regular like weekly gig, she like, man, everybody look dusty. Everybody look dusty. But when she went to Summer Breeze, she's been twice. The first time she went, she saw a girl with a dress on. And she was like, oh no. So the next time she went, she had something made.
Oh, with the same dress?
Yes, with the same dress.
That's helpful.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and just like you said, 5,800 people. If you shop off the rack, if you shop, locally, you gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, oh no, I got some. Right. So I'm saying that's the type of event that they give. Oh, I got some food. I can't wait to put this on. Yeah. Oh no, I can't wear them. I be them for Summer Breeze.
So we potentially, and me and Black, we're gonna talk about this. Right after we get off the air, we'll be coming live from Summer Breeze. So stay tuned in to the station right here. We'll be making announcements on our social media, and hopefully, we can do some joint stuff with them going forward. But definitely looking forward to really promoting some of these indie artists like you was talking about, man. We got some really great talent in this area.
Man, the best.
And people really appreciate you putting them on a platform where you don't have to do that.
Right, but I'm going to though. Trust me.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is. So one last time, let me throw it out there this time. So Mark, you got any last shout outs or anything?
Nope, man. I'm here, man. Tricky Entertainment, man. We're gonna.
You ain't got nobody. Hey, boo.
Didn't he just say no?
That was an easy answer. But for the family though, Tricky Entertainment, man, we put in a lot of work to try to get these events looking how they look. So we're gonna continue to do that. That's all I got right here.
Come on, Black.
For me, my shout out goes to you actually for having a platform that we can come on and present what we're trying to do for the city, right? And secondly, I want to salute my Tricky Entertainment team because we are a family and we get together. We get them war rooms sometimes and get kind of heated. You know what I mean? But what comes out of that war room is what you all see when y'all come to an event. So I want to thank them. I want to thank them mainly for being able to come up and have the resilience to come out the war room with a plan, and we present that plan to the city.
How many people be at the table in that war room?
It's a war room, man.
There's a war room, maybe about 15 to 20. Big up the Big G for always getting us in a fight. When I put BYB on, they like, man, y'all suck. Big G, he don't even know. In the room, they be like, why we ain't got Winks G out there? They coming. They coming.
Any shout outs, Black?
Nah, man. For real, I just piggyback off a big man. Thank you for having me, man. Y'all, we had a good time.
It's long overdue. Yeah, I mean, it's just so happened. And so I'm gonna throw my Miss Lady. I'm gonna let you close out. I gotta throw out a shout out to China Pink and the ladies of the China Pink show for actually waking me up on that. I was like, oh man, because it's great. Because if we do everything we were supposed to, the China Pink show will be coming live from the wine festival, right. But we just got to make sure we got everything lined up. So we're gonna talk about that. China, she's listening, and shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody tuning in to the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio Live or Win DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWin.media, coming to you live from the shops at Iverson. We gotta get out here. We gotta get ready for Miss Tayo and talk with Tayo. She be coming in, and she has a gentleman by the name of where we at right here? Ryan Bennett. Ryan Bennett of Fertility Financial Advisors.
Okay.
Yeah, I broke it down, didn't I? Yeah, I broke it all the way down. Yeah, so, hey, keep it locked right here. You sound like you got a toothache over there, girl.
Bring up the public schools, man. Take your time.
You know? Yeah. But keep it locked right here. She's going to break it all down for you. So, Miss Lady.
Let's track back just real quick. The GoWIN radio show on the Facebook Live. Dwayne Nutt said, much love, Tricky Inc. Shout out to all you guys. Gene Witt wants to know what football game this year out of town. So.
Oh, yeah, we're going to New Orleans. Yeah, we're going to New Orleans, but we ain't having a party in New Orleans. We're having a party in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. There you go,
we're going to New Orleans, but we just going to the game. That's it.
Okay.
But we're going to party in Jacksonville.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's tuned in on GoGo Radio Live Facebook page, on the Win DC Facebook page, streaming live on both. If you don't have it, download the app right now. You can get both stations all in one. Shout out to everybody at Friendly High School, y'all. That's my alma mater. That's my baby school. That's everything. That's what I do. Yeah, everybody. Everybody.
Can you give me some? Can you hit that summer breeze for me? Just hit it. Come on,
matter of fact, go ahead. You already
got 2 minutes. We got 30 seconds. Hit that summer breeze for me.
If you know exactly what I want to do, yeah, then I'ma get a business to you. Cause we just gave you the business.
Tricky Inc. Oh, shit. Keep it locked right here. Stay tuned for Talk with Tayo.
This one right here, though. Special dedication going out to GoGoRadio.com. The Go Ologist. Yeah. Yeah. This is Stormy Saturday. Stormy Saturday. Rainy Saturday.
Good seeing you, Wee.
Also, Miss Tracy, special for Crest. Pick out your afro, put on your high heel shoes, put on your fancy